So we are done till sixth step, right? So we correlated the random fish ID. Now let's go to the let's move on to the next step. So take this return 0 from here and keep it here. And so no, hold on. This step is also done. Here you have select one dog breed randomly. Yes. So we have to select one dog breed randomly, right? So where do we get all the dog breeds? Here you go, right? So once you select to the dogs tab, right? So you get the all the 6 dog breeds. We got 6 dog breeds and we get all the 6 dog breeds. Go to the recording log and see verify that one, sir, right? So this is where you are getting all the 6 dog breeds, different dog breeds, right? Now, so let's find out what is the left and right boundary to capture all those 6 dog breeds. All right. So search for what is the first one. What is the first one? Go to the page view and K9 BD01. K9 BD -01. So that is the first one, right? See, here you go. So you have, so these are the different 6 different dog breeds you can see here, right? Bulldog, PO for what is PO for? Poodle, and DL for Dalmatian, right? See, they followed some naming convention. RT for retriever. Again, this is also RT, right? So they follow in the product IDs, they followed some naming convention. Bulldog, they named it as BD. Poodle, they named it as PO. Dalmatian, they named it as DL. Retriever, they named it as RT, right? So 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 of course that is not important for us, just for your information. So what is the left boundary and right boundary that I can take over from here, right? First, make sure that like you don't have any other occurrences, right? So when you search with product ID, so you should have only 6 occurrences, 6 matches only, because there are 6 different dog breeds, right? So if there is some other occurrence, right, it will capture that also. Product ID and some unwanted value unted, it will capture that also, obviously. So first see the count and then copy this line, and where are we getting these dog breeds? Once we click on the dogs page, once we go to the second tab dogs, we are getting that, right? So keep it over here and WebEx param. Which one can we use? Can we use WebEx param, or should we use some other correlation function?
EX.
Can we use WebEx param EX, or so we should use some other function, correlation function?
Other.
Huh?
EX,
We can use EX.
We can use WebEx param EX because we have definite left and right boundaries. All the 6 dog breeds have same left boundary and right boundary, right? So we can happily use this WebEx param EX. So param name is equal to, yes. So let's give some name to this. Mahendra, let's give some meaningful name to this. Mahendra, are you with us?
Oh, yeah, SMS.
Yeah, let's give some name to this. What name shall we give to this? Parameter name, what name should I give to that?
Grade. Grade.
Is that? What's the? Vasdar, give some name to this array, Vasdar. Vasdar, are you with us?
Dogs product ID array. Is it that one?
Okay, dogs product ID array. Yes, we can give that because it is mentioned as dogs product, you know. Okay, product ID and only. Yes, we can give that, right? Or else I prefer to use dog, dog dog breed array. Okay, you can give that dog product ID also. You can give. So I prefer to give dog breed array, right? And you know, like this is my left boundary, right? And this is my right boundary. What else? Can I give last? Mahindra?
Oh, ordinal
Wait. I want from Mahindra.
Ordinal.
Where should I give?
Uh, before
Can I
last.
give? Can I give here?
No. Before last.
Right. So it will capture all the 6 dog breeds into this array. So once we capture that, yes. What next?
Random LR param array.
LR underscore.
Param array.
This one.
Random.
I typed whatever you told. It is not recognizing. Tool is not recognizing. If this is a valid function, it will change the color to this orange color, right?
Actually, param A.
Read it properly then. LR param ar underscore random. Right? Now it recognizes. Tool recognize that and change the color, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What next? How should I pass that array name?
C dog. C and dog breed. First double quotes. C before after.
Yes.
Practice. That's it.
Now what does this function do, Mahindra?
It will take randomly total 6.
Complete the sentence. Complete the sentence.
ఈ టోటల్ దాంట్లో random గా ఒక బ్రీడ్ తీసుకుంటాం.
Right. From this array, it will pick one. It will select one value randomly.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So how many values you have? You have 6 values. So what will be their index? What will be their index?
All.
Was there? What will be their index? What is meant by index?
Okay, C underscore dog breed. దీనిలో సబ్స్టిట్యూషన్
No, ఎక్కడి నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవుతాయి ఇండెక్స్ from 0 or 1? 0 to 5, will it be 0 to 5 or 1 to 6?
0 to 5.
0 to 5 ఉంటాయి. What will be the index values, guys? Others?
1 to 5. 1 to 6.
1 to 6, sir.
1 to 6.
1 to 6, we will have 6 values, right? We have 6 dog breeds, so the index will be 1 to 6. Suppose I want to select, like, okay, let me show you one. Let me introduce one more function, one more new function, LR paramar underscore IDX, right? LR paramar underscore IDX. So IDX stands for index, right? Okay. So what does it do is, if you give the index, right? So it will fetch the value from that index. LR paramar underscore IDX function. What does it do? Returns the value of parameter at a specified location in a parameter array. So what does that mean? Returns the value of the parameter at the specified location in a parameter array, right? Let's see some examples. Yeah, here it is, right? So what is this here? there is one more function called LR parameter underscore length. So if you pass the array name, like it will give you the length of the array. Okay, it will give the length or size of the array, right? How many values are there in that array? Now, in this example, they passed this array size over here. So what does this give? What is the see, this is an array name, and LR parameter underscore length function returns the size of the array. So in a WebTools example, how many flights we have?
4 flights.
4.
4 flights. So what does this length function return? LR parameter underscore length function return?
4.
It returns a value of 4. Now LR parameter underscore IDX of outbound flight value and then comma 4. What does this return?
4th value.
It simply returns the 4th value. So because LR parameter underscore IDX means index, right? So we'll implement this example over here. Okay. What I will do is I will first give, like, I want to fetch the second value. So how can I do that? Using LR parameter underscore IDX function. I want to fetch the second value from the array. How can I do that?
Underscore 2 you
Can
have
we
to.
give 2 there?
Just give 2, that's it, right? Yeah, I have shown you this example just now, right? See, LR parameter underscore IDX, array name followed by, here they have passed some number, right? Array size is nothing but 4, right? In this example, array size is nothing but 4, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So in the same way, I am passing LR parameter underscore IDX and I'm passing number 2. Then what does it do?
We'll take second.
From this array, it should get the second value, right? So let me replay the script till here and let's see the output. Okay, so now see what is the output, guys. So what is the, now tell me, so what is the, this line is the output of which code? C underscore dog breed array underscore 6.
Random function.
Random function, right? And this one?
Index.
Index, LR parameter underscore index, right? So let's verify it with the UI. Let's see the snapshot and verify it with the UI, whether it's correct or not. This one, right? See the UI, so show snapshot. So we got six breeds, and what is the second one? What is the second one? K9PO02, right?
0.
Poodle K9PO02. Did we get the same thing?
Yes.
Right, from the second index, right? Now one more example. So we'll take one more example. I want to get the last value. I want to get the last value in the array. How can I do that?
6.
Now here I know the size, but if you don't know the size, you don't know the size, or the size changes, right? Say for example, the array size changes. You don't know the size. Then how can I do that?
Give array size.
I have just now shown you an example.
Yes, sir.
We can give array size.
Right, we can give the array size. We have to capture that, that size into an array, right? We have to capture that array size using which function?
LR parameter length.
LR underscore param r underscore length, right? LEN, that's it, right? Yes. What should I pass to this? We have to pass the parameter array name. See here, we have to pass the parameter array name. So what is the parameter array name? This
Dog
one.
breed.
Yes. Oh, sorry. What happened? So what would be the output of this one? LR parameter underscore length function. Right. So what does this return, guys?
It is the length of the array.
Yeah. Here in this case, what it will return?
6. It will return 6.
What it will return in this case?
6.
Integer.
Number 6, right? So that is the size of the array, right? So what does it return? It returns the number of elements in the parameter array. This function returns number of elements in the parameter array, right? And right, it returns a integer value, right? Basically, it will return number 6, correct? It will return an integer value, right? Now they are storing that into an integer, right? If you want to capture that and pass into something, so to do that, they saved it into some integer, right? See, observe here, they declared an integer as a, I mean, they declared an integer ARR size as an integer, and they are using that, they are passing that value, right? So let me do that. And what is this? What is this? 1 second. Array size. What is this variable?
C variable.
It becomes a C variable, right? So we have to declare at the beginning of the beginning of this block, right? So that declaration should be done at the beginning of the block. Okay. So int array size. So I'm capturing that value, return value into that integer. Let me copy that integer, that array name, right? Right now, if I want to capture, I want to capture the last value. How can I do that? Here I can use LR parameter underscore IDX function, and I can pass the array size over here. Instead of that number, I can pass that array size, right? So array size will become 6 here. Now this should return LR parameter underscore IDX function should return the last value in the array. So script parsing failed. So what is the reason? Unexpected.
Parent name equal to, we are giving the double quotes, sir, extra double quotes.
Oh, okay. So let's replay the script and see now. This LR line number 123, what would be the output of that line number 123? LR parameter underscore IDX function should return
6.
what did it return?
CW0.
So it returned the 6th value from the 6th index, right?
Yes.
And what is this one?
That is the random
Random
value.
We use some random function, right?
Yes.
Use some random function, right? So this is the result of this one, right? So we have 3 functions, from these regarding these arrays, right? So LR paramar underscore length function, LR paramar underscore random, LR paramar underscore IDX for parameter array functions, right? These are the three parameter array functions. Clear?
Okay.
Okay, so I'll comment out for time being. We want to pass a random value, right? So we want to pass a random value. So this is this LR parameter underscore random function returned that. Now what shall we do? Like we have to pass that dog breed array over here K9RT02. Instead of this hard coded value, I have to pass that random value. How can I do that? Let's forget this. I want to show you how and where can we use this LR parameter underscore IDX function. Okay. Now let's come to the script, right? I want to pass a random value instead of this hard coded value. I want to pass a random value, randomly selected dog breed. Yes.
LR save string.
Yeah, I'll save that into some using LR save string. I'll save that into some variable, right? Why we call that as a variable? C underscore. So what name can I give? This returns a random value. So I'll
Random dog breed.
give random dog breed, right? Can I give like that? Right? And what is this variable? What variable is this? Is it a C variable? So in loadrunner we have two types of variables: loadrunner variables and C variables.
variable.
What type of variable is this?
Load runner.
Loader under variable.
Right, as we used it in a loadrunner function, right, becomes a loadrunner variable. Now we will pass this be careful for this nesting, right? So this is the closing brace for random function, and this is the closing brace for this save string function. See, when you select this one, right, observe here, when you select this, it is highlighting the matching braces, right? Now let's pass this variable over here instead of K9RT02. Oh, sorry. Copy that and pass, instead of that hard coded value, pass that random dog breed, right? Click find next. So here there is one occurrence. Replace all the occurrences. You can use replace all, right? There are no other occurrences. So I am selecting a random dog breed here as per the for that particular step, right? So I'll get all the I get all the dog breeds, right? So here I'm supposed let me replay. I think I did not replay the script, right? So let me replay the script till this step, and once I select a wrong dog breed randomly, again there are like male and female puppies, right? I have to select one among them from them, correct? From the product ID, I have to select again a item ID. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
So what it selected CW, the last one, right? So random function selected the last one. CW is the last one. Replay snapshot page view. right? It selected the last one. You remember this is the last one, right?
Yes, yes.
Let's go to the previous step. Let's see the snapshot, right? So it selected the last dog breed, right?
Mm.
So, and you have two values in that again, two item IDs, right? You have two item IDs. Again, you have to select one randomly from them, right? Adult male and adult female, right? So let's select one of them from this two item IDs, right? Now again, same process. Use LR runner underscore random function, random dog breed. Once you select that random dog breed, yes. So let's see the, hold on. So let's see the output of this. So we have again two values. Go to HTTP data response body. Copy this. Item ID. Search for item ID. Right? You have two item IDs. Right? See EST26 and EST27. Right? So take it from here. Search. See first. See the count of that boundary, left boundary. Right? You have 4 matches here. If you select item ID as your left boundary. Now what you do is you extend the left boundary to some extent. So you go to the left side, right? You pick something else, okay? And like see the count now. Again, you will get, two matches. You got 2 matches here, right? Now you can use this as your left boundary. Clear? Is this where you are getting confused? Sorry. Yes, C underscore.
Dog breed item.
C underscore dog item ID, sorry, right? Right. So what is my left boundary? This is my left boundary. As there is a double quote in right boundary, I'm using backward slash as an escape character. Right? Now, once you will capture, it will capture all the item IDs. Right? Once you select the item IDs, again use LR. Yes. Random function on that array. Item IDs array. Right? This will select you one item ID. So save it into some another variable using LR save string function. Save it into some other variable. Let's give some meaningful name. C underscore random dog item ID. Pass this value. I copied that variable and like you have to pass it over here, right? Instead of EST23, correct? Right, this is item ID, right? This is nothing but your item ID. So instead of this hard-coded value, you have to pass that variable. Control H. And next, replace, right? That's it. Okay, now let me run the complete script till we get the order ID. I will remove this return 0. Is there anything else to correlate? Let's see the complete script, let's see whether the order will get placed or not. So your order should contain one fish and one dog, right? I did not correlate that order ID yet. We'll do that now. Okay. So let's see the output. So where should I see the output, guys? Which snapshot should I check? Guess which snapshot should I check to see the order ID?
Submit on
Huh?
submit data. Okay.
Confirm order.
Confirm order, right? So
Confirm order.
once we confirm order, then we get this order ID, right? Go to the snapshot, go to replay snapshot and see the page view. Okay. So you got the order ID, right? 21316. That is the order ID, right? And see what it selected, spotless koi. This is the fish variety. This is the dog variety. So let's replay and see, if they are getting selected randomly or not. Let's replay one more time. And what is the order ID? Does anyone remember that? Make sure that you are selecting, you are checking the replay log, right? See, previous one was 21316, I think. Now it is 21,317, right? And let's see if it is, yes, right? It selected randomly only, right? Previously it selected some other fish variety. Now it selected goldfish. Previously it selected the last one. I couldn't pronounce that. That's why, I replayed again, right? This is Dalmatian. This time it selected Dalmatian, adult female Dalmatian. Right now, let's try to capture this order ID as well. Suppose, I want to capture this order ID, order number, which is 21317, right? Let's see how to do that. So we are getting that order ID once we submit this confirm request, right? So let's see the response of that. Go to HTTP data. Let me, reopen this last. So if you get such issues, guys, like if you get such UI issues or, any other tool issues, if you are, using a licensed version, right? So you can raise a support request to Micro Focus team. You got it? When your organization, when your company purchases license, right, you will get something called SAID. SAID. Okay. SAID is for some, service agreement identifier. Okay. Let me check that. So I think that is a service identifier, service agreement identifier or something, right? So hold on, wait. Search. So what is SAID? Let me show you that. Yeah, so here it is. Service agreement identifier. SAID is nothing but service agreement identifier. a unique number provided to HP customers. Of course, now it is previously like Loadrunner was owned by HP. That's why you see here HP customers. Now it is Micro Focus, right? Now Loadrunner is owned by Micro Focus. So when your organization, when your company buys a license for this Loadrunner, right, they provide you some SAID unique number, right? So using this SAID, you can raise a support request to the Micro Focus team, right? Then they will Micro Focus will assign some some executive, and he will be looking after your issue. He will be providing you that service. He will be looking at that issue, and he will be providing that service, right? So guys, remember this, right? So they may ask in interviews like you are facing some tool issue, like for a licensed tool. So then, what is your approach? How would you solve it? Is it clear?
Okay.
Guys, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So what do you do? What is your answer?
We'll try to resolve internal. If not, we will raise a ticket to the.
So you will go to Micro Focus site, and you will raise a support request using that SID number. Remember that. Can you note it down, please? So there will be an option to raise a support request, okay, under support and services. So you can, you will have some login ID also, right? So, you will log into your account and, support. Yeah. So from here, you can raise the support request. VUGen, virtual user generator, right? You have some issue with VUGen, right? So you will. So initially they are showing, they are showing you to go through the knowledge base. If that solution is already there, right? If someone raised a request and, if solution is already in place, then you can go through that. Otherwise, you can go to the, you can go to the support portal. Guys, you got it, like, when I'm searching for this VUGen, right? It is showing some suggestions, search, browse. They are suggesting to browse some resources like documentation or knowledge base or community. Right, community where you have other users, right? You can check with other users, right? So if you still want support, you can go to the support portal or contact support. You can click either of these buttons. Need more help, right? You can go to the support portal, or you can contact support, and you can raise a support ticket, right? So by service request, click on this service request, right? So they may ask you like, did you face any tool issue in your 3 years experience or 4 years experience, right? So this is the process that we follow. So we go to the support portal and we log into the application, right? Like I don't have a licensed version, right? I can't show it completely. I can't show you how to raise a support ticket here, but I will share you the steps. I have the steps to follow. I will share you the steps, how to raise a support ticket and all. Okay, I'll share you that steps. I should be having a document with screenshot. I'll share you that. So basically you log into your account, like, right? So you will log into your account and, you will, any account, you can log into your own account also. But, when raising the support ticket, you have to use that SAID. Clear? What you can do is, like you can create an account with your, so you can create an account, right? So create an account with your official email ID. Right? You can create an account with your official email ID and log into the same account and raise a support ticket. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll show you it in some other session. Let me complete this script. Okay. So as as that scenario came, I want to explain. Okay. Now let's see the snapshot. So snapshot. Go to select replay snapshot or recording snapshot. Anything is fine. So we basically want to capture the left. We want the left and right boundaries of that order ID. Right. So you'll have it either in the recording snapshot or replay snapshot. Agree? we want left and right boundaries for this order ID. So we can pick it from recording snapshot or replay snapshot. If your replay is successful, you can get it from here. Otherwise, you can go to the recording snapshot also, right? Go to the response body, copy this into and search for order, right? Next, here it is, right? You have the order over here, right? Now the challenge is, fine, this is my left boundary, that is clear. How about my right boundary? Right, we can use slash n, or I will show you, save length function also. Okay, so I copied that line where I am getting that order ID, right? And in the response of this request, I am getting that, right? I have to capture it from here. Yes, webrex save param. Yes, can I use webrex save param function? This is 2021 version. Can I use webrex save param function?
No, we can't.
No, no.
Don't use that, okay? Because that is deprecated. Let me show you that, let me go to the loader slide there. Is it already open? Okay, this is Apache Kafka. That is deprecated from LoaderNet 2020 version, right? Which function? Which function is deprecated?
The bread sales.
Webrex save param.
Webrex save param is deprecated from which version? From 2020 onwards, right? I mentioned it here, deprecated function from 2020 version, right? As this is 2021, let's not use it, right? And yes, param name is equal to, yes, C underscore order ID. I will give it as order ID. Next, LB is equal to, let me write the syntax first. Last, right? What is my left boundary? This is my left boundary. So this is pretty much clear. This is straightforward. Hey, what happened? Order ID. How about my right boundary, guys? Shall we try slash n? What is this slash n?
New line.
Next line, new line.
Right, next line or new line, right? Let me replay this and see whether we'll get the order ID or not. All right. It clearly says here, syntax error found web underscore URL expecting semicolon, right? It is expecting an ending semicolon, but it found this, web underscore URL. That's what it says, right? Okay, now we got the order ID, right? You saw that order ID 21,400 something. Here it is, right? 21,344, right? Now, so we can use this, let me go to the script. Okay, so I can use, as a right boundary, instead of slash n, right, I use some other parameter. I can use some other parameter for this function called save length. Okay, let me show you that in the PPT. So, in interviews, they will ask like, apart from left boundary, right boundary, ordinal, did you use any other arguments, right? Did you use any other arguments? Able to follow, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so other important loader nut functions. After that, I have one more slide for save length and save offset. Yeah, here it is. No, sorry. Let me search. Yeah, here it is, right? Save length. So len, only len, right? So the length of a substring of the found value. Okay, let me show you how to use this one in this case, right? So what we can do is webrex save param. So let me go to the help file once. Okay. You can search over here. Okay. Save length. Yeah, save length. So what does it do? It length of the substring of the found value. Okay, let me show you some example, then you will get a clear understanding. Okay, let me try this. Recording. All right. So let's see the snap, yeah. So let's see the snapshot of this. So here in this example, I want to introduce two new concepts. One thing is order ID using save length, right? And I gave, instead of write boundary, I gave an argument or attribute called save len, and I specified the value as 5, right? As we know, the order ID is always 5-digit, right? Order ID is always 5-digit. What I did is I used this as left boundary, right? And instead of right boundary, I gave save length is equal to 5. So this is one way to capture that. The other way is, what is the other way to capture that? Okay, let me put that also. Let me type that also. Webrex save param underscore ex, right? Param name is equal to order ID using new line character. I will say that as new line character. Okay. So what is the other way to get that? You can give the left boundary, and in right boundary we will give /n as a /n, right? Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
Right. Okay. What is the left boundary? Left boundary we have, it's straightforward. We know what is the left boundary. What would be the left boundary, right? I'm showing three, the two ways to get that order ID, right? That, and this is another way by using save length attribute. And as I know that order ID is 5-digit, I give save length as 5. And this example, I am skipping left and right boundaries just to show you what happens. Very important interview question. I myself, was asked this question in Deloitte interview, right? Long back, not now, just 7-8 years back. Okay, here I am skipping left and right boundaries. Sorry, left boundary and right boundary are skipped, right? So let me replay the script and show the output. So at that time I really don't know the answer. Like I didn't try that actually at that time when I was asked that question, right? So I told, like I just assumed that as we don't know left, but I know that that left and right boundaries are optional because we have a square bracket over there, right? So I told, like it should capture the complete response. I didn't try that anytime. Hey, why didn't we get that already use hold on. Why didn't we get this one? New line character. Did I miss something? Okay, here it is. Order ID using new line character is 218384, right? And yes, so let's understand this, right? So let's understand this example. So what is the, I mean, This is the output of which function? Which one? Which line?
06.
Where we skipped the left and right boundary, right? So what happened here? See here, HTTP 2.0. What are these? These are nothing but your response headers. We can see that in the headers. You can go to the headers and see, right? So. See, these are request headers and this is response header section. What are the response headers that we got? See here. See, server engines 1.19.2, date, content type, transfer encoding, connection. These are response headers, nothing but response headers, right? And that's what you are seeing in the output, right? Of course, not in that order, but you see text, content type, text or HTML, and you see the server name engines 1.19.2, date and all, right? So basically, if you skip the left and right boundaries, what happens is it will capture the response headers followed by what next?
Response
What
body.
next, guys?
Response body.
See here, from here, this is response body, doc type, HTML public. This is response body, right? So it will capture response headers as well as response body. If you skip the left and right boundaries. Agree with this? Is this the response body, doc type, HTML public? Let me show you that. How can we see that response body? This is where we can see, right? See, this is the response body, right? Doc type, HTML public, and so on. Yes or no? Guys, understood or no? This is nothing but your response body, right? It will capture the whole response headers and response body. It will capture the complete response. If you skip the left and right boundaries for a correlation function like Fabric Separam EX, right? Is it clear now?
Yes.
See, it will capture the complete response. If you want, I'll, let me copy this. Let me show you that. Control and I can select down arrow and I can select that, but I just want to show you that it selected all the, this is nothing but the response body, right? You can see how much, like characters it is. You can simply select, paste down, right? It will, okay. Control C, let me see if it is copied. Okay, right? You can, okay. It got selected it selected next line also. But here you can see till body HTML it's selected, right? Right, see body closing tag, you can see body closing tag. This is body closing tag, right? So here you can see like, this is the opening tag. This is the opening HTML tag. This is the opening head tag. In the same way, you can see these are the closing tags, right? This is the closing tag for body. This is the closing tag for HTML.
Other option.
Right? So if you see the function syntax Fabric Separam EX, these square brackets indicate that there are optional. Okay. And LP, what is IC? IC stands for ignore case. IC stands for ignore case. And if you have some binary characters, like, I didn't use this anytime. I didn't come across such requirement. But bin stands for binary. Okay. So I didn't come across actually such requirement, but but I know that this bin stands for binary. Okay, I think like binary output, if we get some binary output, we use this, right? But these are important. So you should know this ignore case and what are these square brackets, what does this square bracket indicates and all right. So I'll stop it here. We'll continue tomorrow. So everyone please, complete this script and upload to GitHub. Okay. Stopping the recording.